Hello everybody, Virtual Rook here. Today is Monday the 11th, and we're going to be going over some interesting VR news, so let's get right to it. Starting off, have you ever been curious about learning how to draw, but never really felt like you could get around to it? Well, there's a new app called Pencil that uses the AR features of the Quest line of headsets in order to help you with your drawing skills. That's right, this fun and silly little app will help you learn how to draw by just following the step-by-step guide, and you can see a representation of what you need to draw right on the paper. I just think it's really cool to see more apps that are being used to teach you something rather than just being a game or, it's certainly not the first app to teach, but it's a neat way to teach people how to do art. The pros of it are that the characters are super cute in it. I just think that the little drawing guy that shows up to help teach you how to draw is really adorable. And I just think that whether you're young or old, it's a great way to get started in drawing because, I know that a lot of art teachers and stuff potentially tell you oh, don't copy other people's work. That's plagiarism. But no, if you're just doing it to learn, then one of the best things that you can do is actually copying others' work. So I think this is a great app to just teach you the fundamentals of the muscle memory of building a drawing. I will say that a really big con of this, unfortunately, is that Meta still doesn't allow developers access to camera data. So the only way that it knows where the paper is if you put your controller down on the table, and then it uses the position of the controller to figure out where the paper is at. And that works perfectly fine, but then if you move the paper by accident while you're drawing or using the app, it'll screw up the entire drawing. So you do probably want to tape down the piece of paper before you get started. But I would love to try this out. I am thinking about getting it whenever I can. But yeah, let me know what you think about this game. I think it's a really cool idea. And as an artist, anything that teaches people how to do art just is a thumbs up from me. We might have gotten some kind of accidental Quest 4 news. Ooh, Quest 4, that's right. But right now, Meta is looking for people to come and test out virtual reality hardware. And some of the requirements are that you have good eyesight, that you, I don't know. The way that they word the requests kind of make it sound like, A, there might be eye tracking involved, which would be awesome for Quest 4, as well as B, there might be some kind of facial tracking in order to, push for more presence in VR. Now, this is all speculation. Whether or not this is actually what ends up being in the Quest 4, who knows? I guess the code name for it is Pismo right now because they have a Pismo Lite and then a Pismo Advance or Ultimate or something. So it's going to probably be similar to the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S. But we'll see. Again, all speculation. It's looking like it's maybe planned for 2026. But yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Still interesting though, because I'd love to see more eye tracking. I think that eye tracking really helps with a lot more than people are aware of. And so it's always good to see eye tracking coming up in more VR headsets. Next up, Meta has this blog where they show off some behind the scenes things for prototypes and stuff. And one of the things that they showed recently was their high field of view prototype. And it looked really cool, looked really neat. I think having VR where no matter which direction you look, you just see the VR world is a huge step forward. But I completely agree with Boz that right now there's just way too many trade-offs and it's just not worth it to pursue a headset like this. Boz is quoted as saying, "I know how much y'all love field of view and want more. I'm with you. I like it. I get it. I do. The trade-offs are so bad. The trade-offs are on weight, form factor, compute, thermals. It's all bad." That was from a Q&A that Boz had done recently. And I get it because, it's already a lot of processing power to push out 4K or whatever to the two monitors that we have in front of our eyes currently for the headsets. And to have then an even bigger field of view means that you have to push a lot of pixels, and just processing power alone, running Pimax headsets is a huge power draw on your graphics card, and you need a beefy graphics card to do it. And they do suffer because of how big the screens are inside of the headset. And that's also just a lot of data that you're not even fully utilizing 80% of the time. The majority of the time, people are looking everywhere but to the sides. You're usually just looking straight ahead. So that's so much lost data. And it's just, right now, it's not worth it. We need to figure out a better solution if we ever want full field of view headsets, and that's just a fact, unfortunately. Still though, really cool that they actually did work on something like this, and it's just neat to see. I always love looking at their prototypes because it's like a looking glass into the future of things to come. It's just neat. Next up's a really small one, but Valve has been doing a lot to make the Steam Link VR way better. And one of the things more recently that they've done is they've given us the ability to get hand tracking data from the Quest line of headsets inside of Steam, which doesn't do a huge amount right now, but it might be an insight in things to come because it could mean that the Deckard, the Index 2, probably has hand tracking of some kind as well, because why else would they develop or care about this? Right now it's just kind of neat. It means that if you use VR chat, you can have the whole finger tracking data going in, which is awesome. So very cool to see. Moving right along. There's gonna be an Upload VR showcase. I love these so much because it's like literally Christmas, but for VR nerds. And I'm very excited to see all of the new games that are coming out. And I don't know, they're just so much fun to watch. It's going to be happening December 5th, so, you know, 'tis the season, I guess. And I will be streaming it, so I will give updates on my Discord as well as here on YouTube to tell you when I'm going to be starting that stream. But yeah, make sure you check it out and let's enjoy some cool VR trailers. That'll be great. And last but not least, we have Quest version 71 update coming out here very shortly, and it's kind of a cool one. We got a whole new UI layout, which I think looks a lot sleeker and cleaner. I can't wait to get this, honestly, because it just looks nicer. But there's also a couple cool things underneath the hood that they're going to be changing. For instance, there's going to be better face movement based on your speech patterns. So they will be tracking what you're saying, and by like looking at plosives and things like that, or different sounds common in speech, it'll move the mouth of the avatar to kind of better reflect what you're saying and how you're saying it. Kind of neat, small, but cool. They're actually updating the way that the cameras on the front of the headset work so that AR should look even smoother and cleaner. The way that they're doing this is by adjusting the frame rate of the cameras so they better match the frame rate of the actual screens in the headset, which is kind of a cool way of, you know, fixing that issue. Not that it was necessarily an issue, but I'm always happy that their AR stuff's getting a little bit smoother and cleaner. If you're an enjoyer of trains, and trust me,
I like trains,
you'll be happy to know that they are, in this update, going to make it easier for you to use your Quest line of headsets on trains. They already had it for airplanes, but now it's going to be working better with trains. Apparently people have already been using it on trains and it's been working fine, but this should make it even more so. I guess any outcasts where it wasn't working very well on trains, now it should work okay on trains. Yay, trains. And last most notable for me was that they're bringing Dolby Atmos and Dolby Digital Surround Sound to VR. I guess that's just something you can do with programming, because like nothing's changing about the headphones themselves. So I guess it's just going to be changing how the headset handles audio. It sounds like it's only going to work on certain websites that support these technologies, but eventually they want to see it in more apps and stuff. But again, I guess it's something that the developers actually have to implement in order for it to work with the headset. Still though, I'm guessing that this means better digital surround sound, as the namesake says, which is always cool because in VR, the more realistic everything is, the better it's gonna be. So very excited to see that as well. Anyway, I know it's been like kind of a short news. There hasn't really been a lot of VR news. It's kind of been disappointing, but hopefully there'll be more coming up. And we have some more really interesting videos coming out soon because I have new ideas for how this channel can be kind of laid out. Don't worry, still VR related. Speaking of, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And we finally passed 1,000. We just did like a 24-hour live stream about it. It was really good. So let's get to 5,000. And also, let's get those public watch hours up so I can get this channel monetized. That would be great. But yeah, let me know what you liked most out of this news segment, what you thought was most interesting down below in the comments. That always really helps. And I will always comment back, almost always. Like, I love reading your comments and commenting back, so please do. Anyway, that's it for me for now, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.